This conference will now be recorded.
Wake up. This is becoming an every December thing. The 3 plus right now. I know Garland's coming, but last December was the same situation.
Do you mind if I leave at 7?
We're all gonna try to leave at 7, Joe.
I'm leaving. All right.
Motion to adjourn at 7 o'clock, regardless of status of meeting. So moved.
All right. You wanna?
Well,
It's recording.
Okay.
And the microphone's on and the camera's on, so you guys are good to start. It's like
Yeah, give him a minute or two. I just said, let's see if she's wants us wait for like 6:05, and then regardless of response, we'll go. Is that good?
You're in charge.
Well, that's dangerous. Are we? Oh, is this live?
Yes.
Okay.
If you're not ready to start the meeting,
No, I didn't know if you need me to push anything or not. I know you said it's within a few minutes.
yeah, it's good to
or
go.
just- Okay.
If you want.
This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Motion to open the Incorporated Village of Poquat Board of Trustees work session meeting December 11th, 2025 at 6:05 p.m. So moved.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Let's start. Item number 1, village insurance policy. Do we need to?
I don't have a copy of the new one. Darlene was working with the insurance on that.
Okay.
So I guess when she gets here.
We'll go over
I don't have
Go
any.
back to
the
it, yeah.
updated changes on that one. Okay, so we'll put a hold on that. Now, item number 2, mass assembly versus special events permit. Anybody get a chance to look over this in the folder prior to the meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Joe, did you have any edits on this from our last meeting? No. No? Okay. Let's see, we do have the letter in here from Frank. I guess we can kind of review that really quick before getting into, I'd like to see what his opinion was prior to getting into some of these items here. Thank you for the opportunity to share my opinion on this matter. Public safety spring decisions. Suggest we distinguish between special event application for parking and special use of a village park for an event. Should be a special event parking application and permit for street parking and private residences, and the use of village property application and permit. The use of village property by a company or company-sponsored social gathering should be either prohibited or should have free structure that competes with the rental fees or similar properties. Such as the 5K, that our roadways and parks should be both under mass assembly for law for roadways and the use of village property application for the park. Per current parking requirements designated in the plan would apply to California Park. However, if someone were to request use of Walnut Park or Trustees Park, those vehicle numbers will change. Parking permits for cars are only required for cars parked in the parking lots. Spaces are limited, half the space available. Okay, let's see. Capable, I don't think village property is capable of hosting social events more than 50 to 75 people. Limit on guest lists, overcrowding, excessive noise. Okay. So are we trying to basically whittle this down here still? Are we holding off on this? Are we ready to, do we need to make any changes? Yeah, the mass assembly versus the special event permit.
I thought Tina had some questions that she said that she wanted to address. Did you already go through those? Size, it was like size or something, the size of how many people there were. Yeah. event type, attendance thresholds, parking and street use, safety and emergency requirements. But those are the things we wanted to talk about.
Okay, so we want to discuss, let me see where, say that for a second.
Could we, so what we have is a comparison.
Mhm.
Could you sort, I don't know that I have access to that folder. Could somebody send that to me? Could we put this over for a month if you want?
Yeah,
So
I
we
think,
could read the comparison?
yeah, I didn't know, did you,
It's in, did you get this?
Yes, yeah, I'm looking at it,
okay, but you haven't had access to it previously, is that what you're
yeah. No, I
saying?
don't
from
have
this-
access to the
Trustee share folder.
trustee share folder.
Okay,
So if you're talking about something in the share folder, I don't know, but I did get
yeah,
this.
there were a couple of questions here that I don't know if she ran,
I
if Tina had
think
a
you're on
chance
this.
to
No,
run.
you're on
oh, you
the
were
event.
on one. Okay.
Yeah.
The event type, the resident versus corporate sponsor, trying to clear up the definition for a corporate branded sponsored event. And then the attendance thresholds holds the parking and street use and safety emergency requirements.
So when she sent out this to tell us that this was in there, she just said, these are the highlights of things that I think we need to address and discuss, because these are the, seem to be where the issues are. And those were the 4 things that she said.
Okay. So if you haven't had a chance to look through it yet, do you guys want to circle back on this for January then? I mean, are we in,
I don't think there's any rush to do it, right?
No, I
I
don't
think
think
we're-
so.
right,
I mean, there's not gonna be a huge influx, I don't think.
No.
I think we had all,
That's
Not
Yeah.
everything.
In January?
Yeah, you know, I mean, they'll be a little cold, but,
I think we want to definitely do it before the next race.
Absolutely.
I think that was the thing, so I
well,
don't think that
before the
January's
weather
gonna
gets
be an
nice
issue.
even, yeah,
Yeah.
so, and I think if, Joe, if you have, still have some things you wanna review regarding to this to answer those
I can
points
answer
that,
questions, yes.
I think that if it'll serve everyone to move in a month, then that's probably the best course of action.
Yeah, I'll try to do that in the next week or 2, so we have it in advance,
All right.
okay.
please.
No problem.
Okay, so.
Okay, let's,
wanna go back
do
to
you
the
want to,
insurance?
yeah, do you want to go back?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, all right, so
Insurance
just,
policy?
a couple of updates. So I reached out to the insurance company. One is, I talked to them about changing, the dates. That seems to be very difficult.
So it fits more in line with when we make to our budget.
Yeah,
Right?
Right, but
Okay.
it seems like that people, they kind of are very set on the dates, whether it's July to July or, May to May, and changing it seems to be very cumbersome. So they kind of outlined all that, so I'm not sure that we could really do better. I think the thing is to just plan for, they try to give us an idea. And like we did last year, we actually would happen to be in our benefit, but I think that's kind of what we just have to continue to do unless we want to totally revamp, like changing all the insurance company, like,
Yeah,
and I think that I'm not sure that's a direction we really want to go in. So I think for that, in that case, we're kind of just going to keep it as it is for now. I guess we just continue to just look at, and they know that we're interested in changing the date to align with the budget. So I think if they can, or they have a way, I think that they will definitely, bring that up to us in the future. The other
Okay.
thing was, is that there was the rider policy for the quote flood.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so, they did it as a slab, and then when I let them know there was a basement, they re-quoted the premium. So it's, 1,056, which was not that much more than what it
No.
originally was, which was I think 990 or something like that.
yeah,
So it wasn't that much more. I think at this point, we should approve it and move on.
Yeah, you
I-
guys did a resolution last month for up to 1,500.
Okay.
so,
Just have the insurance people send me the paperwork and I get Tina.
Okay, so do you want me to just email them tomorrow and say this has been approved, and Jess will,
Yeah, handle
Is that good?
signing off.
okay,
Yeah.
so I'll do that tomorrow. Okay,
That's great.
and then, Joe, you did bring up last month about, the cyber policy we talked about, right?
mhm.
Workman's comp can't change, we talked about that. There's one more thing. Sorry. I'm still just, I should highlight it.
Not that we're quite at this point yet, but one of the interesting things that they discussed as well was the implementation, that how the cyber policies are going to cover the implementation of AI in the future and
Oh.
the use of AI into the, different websites and different formats that people can access their, municipality from.
So my main concerns were that we weren't using, the IT policy wasn't cowbell 100.
Mhm.
And that we might be able to get, we have to figure out what our firm map is.
Okay, so I asked that question
Okay.
and they answered me. I'm just going to find it. Because I printed it because it was a very long estimate. Believe it or not. It's in here. Okay. Right, you saw that answer too, right? Lisa?
What are you talking about? The cowbell?
No, it's
The firm map.
The flood insurance, if we can change, make sure they have correct information and we have correct information to help people
Oh,
with
No,
flood
I'm not.
insurance and also help us with flood.
I wasn't on it.
Okay, so they did tell me what that was, and so I'll send it to you.
There's like, I think that the answer is that there's like really simple things we could change in our building code that might help people with their flood insurance, that people have to have it. So I can look into that.
Regarding like the
Yeah.
zones that we're paying for flood rates.
If you just require a couple of very minor things.
Yeah.
Like construction.
So I asked them that. So I asked them about improving our flood rating. And we wanted to provide clear explanations of these things. And they divided it into a three rating system involved. And that's what they said. FEMA, which is flood insurance rate maps.
For firms.
Okay. Firms are federal flood maps created by FEMA. These maps determine which properties fall into flood zone and establish the base flood elevation. These maps are not a municipal performance rating and cannot be improved by village action.
Right.
Oh, okay.
No, but we could change the construction that will, my understanding is that we can change a couple of things in our construction law that will reduce people's flood insurance.
Okay, because it says the municipality cannot raise its firm rating. Only FEMA can update the maps through its formal remapping process. So they said that we couldn't do anything to change that. And then they said the NFIP community rating system, that program actually affects the insurance premium. It's a voluntary FEMA program also, and that rewards municipalities for strong floodplain management practices. So when a municipality participates, residents in the flood zone receive 5 to 45% discounts on their NFIP flood insurance premiums. This is the rating system that the village can improve on. Typically, CRS activities include adopting higher regulatory standards, maintaining drainage and stormwater systems, public outreach and flood education, and maintaining elevation certificates.
So we should do that. That'll help out a lot.
Okay. And then it was public protection classifications and fire rating. I think that was the other thing, right? This is another whole rating system, which we knew. No connection to flood insurance, which we also knew that. And it says it evaluates fire department operations, communications training. It is important for property insurance, does not affect flood or CRS certification. And then they gave me the steps of how to join.
Okay.
So I guess I'll just follow these steps on how to join.
Yeah, and we should look at, number 2, we should look at what we can change. There must be a website that tells us what we can change to, the policies and the regulations of it.
Yeah, so it says this, you go online and join, then you submit a letter of interest that has to be from the mayor or village administrator, so probably I'll do that. Complete the checklist of FEMA, then they have a site visit, so they come out and look at the site visit. Then they have they assign you to an initial CRS class. Then you get certified, and they said it takes between 3 and 6 months.
Okay.
So, good start.
So just in time for next storm season.
It was very comprehensive, so I was like, I have to ask.
Yeah.
this.
No, that's great.
Because I didn't want to misspeak, and I'm like, he's gonna ask me questions I don't know.
Is that, and you have a copy of that email? Oh,
No, but
you'll
I'll forward it
to
to,
him?
yeah, I
Okay.
can forward it to you.
Okay, great.
Include it in that. So that was all insurance. I believe.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump over to code enforcement pay. Ray, were you working on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'll have more information for the next meeting. The pay is kind of has been established across other similar villages in the area. I'm still working on the whole retirement process.
Mhm.
I know I'm gonna
Yeah.
chat with you
Yeah.
about that. So definitely by the January meeting, I'll have more information regarding the retirement part of the code enforcement.
okay. And where did we say we were kind of numbers wise with Ray? Did we discuss that last month? Like how far
Yes.
off we are with the
Raises.
other, yeah, with the
Yeah.
other,
I think that we,
All of the other villages were higher for their officer and chief pay.
okay. Do
Um,
you remember
so
how
we-
far off we were?
It was a pretty substantial
Yeah.
amount. I
Yes,
think, I
yeah,
think
it was.
regular code officers get paid more than our chief code
Yeah.
officer.
Okay,
You know,
I think
so
there's
it's a
definitely a
substantial
room for
difference.
improvement there.
okay.
I think they haven't gotten a raise in a couple of years, and so I think.
They get a
it's-
raise every year, but
But
they
it's-
just
Oh, I
started
didn't think
so.
they got one last year.
No, they
They
got one every
did?
year.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
like
but
a
it's-
50-cent raise, but
It's
they're
either a dollar
starting
or 50 cents.
$8 or
Yeah,
whatever.
they
it is
started, I
higher.
don't know.
So I mean,
Okay.
$12 an hour.
Yeah, I
every
think we
year,
need
so
to
it's a
definitely
big
do something for the
difference.
budget
Yeah.
this year for that. And I don't know if you saw my email, because I sent it out a little later this afternoon, was
Their budget,
yeah,
hours
he
budget.
always said that there's a certain set amount of hours. I think
oh, yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
that and like what the optimal would be would be helpful, because then we know that would be the maximum budget we would need.
Mm.
And again, if
And
there's
just like-
vacancies or whatever, then that could always be tweaked, but then he can't go over it.
and I think it goes without saying, they need a raise. And
Yes, I think that goes
retirement, and
without saying.
retirement would be a great benefit as well.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, so we kind of have an idea of what we need to get to, or where we want to be pay raise wise. And then you're going to get the information for the retirement costs, and then we'll hopefully by January, February, can make a decision on a final amount. Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Thanks for
All right, landscaping fall cleanup.
Yep, so that's been concluded. They did an extra section from Cedar to Washington, because there was an enormous amount of
So,
leaves.
yeah, that was
And
really
they
nice.
actually came back and redid it again, because it wasn't really to my, I just like that it's not done properly.
I saw them come back.
And they did a beautiful job.
They did.
They did a
really
great
did,
job.
Yeah.
It really looks great. It didn't cost any extra, so they were like very accommodating.
Yeah.
Jess has been in contact with me about just paying their last invoices, which we're gonna do. And then we rebid it out in January, right? Okay. And I think they definitely want to rebid for sure. And they've been a pleasure to really deal with, so.
Are there any other areas anybody's noticed through the village that could use that kind of little extra treatment there that we can consider for next fall?
So
Because
the resolution's tonight for it to go to bid, for me to do notices and
Yeah.
stuff, but I do think I'm gonna send out like the contract that we use right now. It has a list
okay,
of like, do the corner of Birchwood twice a season, cut back overgrowth, like.
I have
just
that
Send
as
it out
well.
and then come with ideas for next month,
There's
or
also,
like the actual bid packages. go out.
yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
the easements also, like how I was saying when I did my easement report, the one issue with every easement is overgrowth. Which it's not to say they didn't address it, but it's something that we have to be mindful of when we're giving that
And
contract
maybe,
out.
maybe it's just done more often.
Yeah,
Instead of, maybe do it twice in the season, maybe it has to be done every month.
well, it doesn't, nothing looks like it was not done.
Right.
I just think maybe more frequently.
I will say that anytime that there's a complaint, Jess always contacts me. I contact them. I drive around the village. I'll tell them, you didn't do this, or can you cut this back more? One, very responsive, and two, they know, like, they try to do everything before the holiday weekends. Like,
Yeah.
really, they're really good.
And they do the snow too.
Yeah.
So they're just, they did that, but
Mhm.
we, I mean, as far as that kind of stuff goes, yeah, I think the best thing is to have a contract out there, put it to bid and see what we get, but I'll say that, the stuff for the most part is pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay.
Seems it at least.
all right. So then we'll We'll discuss final, you said bids go out, what's the
The
date?
resolution's on the agenda tonight, but
Okay.
we could do it for, January to February, because then they start in April. It still gives you 2 months.
Does that give us enough time? Yeah, okay, all right. All right, next, winter newsletter topics. Back to Ray.
I have 8 topics already, and I have about half of them completed with write-ups and whatnot to send over to Tina. So we're going to be working on that together for, I think we said like a late January, definitely by early February release. That way it's out there for, the upcoming social
Holiday, yeah,
season.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
The PCL have their calendar probably done.
Yeah.
Race.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So open to any other suggestions for topics that,
Get the race
you
in
might
there,
want to see.
Halloween.
What were the
Okay.
topics we have?
So I have right now, kind of a recap of like the big events, like the barbecue, the race, and
Oh,
Halloween. I have, like Tina's gonna be working on the village hall section, and she wants to put a building permit section on there, because there's a lot of new construction going on in the
Mhm.
village. I have, I'm doing like a letter or like a notice from the village historian. I'm doing
Christmas drive.
the Christmas drive, I guess could be mentioned on
You're
there.
just like thanking people.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
thanking everybody for their donations.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll do
And
that.
Santa on the 20th.
The parade.
And
The
the parade.
electric parade, yes.
Yeah, all the December things that just haven't
Yeah.
passed yet, so you probably didn't think of them
Holidays
yet.
and-
yeah.
Yeah. Like a holiday section, like, whatever.
I'm gonna keep like the same one from last newsletter with the upcoming events. And there were a couple others I didn't get to yet, but if there's like any pressing topics that, we want to kind of shed some light on that, is going on with the village, if not too much of a repeat from the last newsletter with the, the asphalt plant and, if we want to mention some stuff about the settle pot.
Yeah, we could do that. The road, the Washington, and some of the other paving projects that were
Mhm.
completed show a little bit of
Love
the
them.
work that we're doing, stuff like that. That's good.
Okay.
I think maybe, we could all, if we're on an email together, share some of the projects each of us have worked on individually. And we can pick some of the high points and high notes to touch on and kind of recap what the Board of Trustees.
What
been
about the
doing.
traffic data? Do you think that's good?
The what was
The
it?
traffic data?
It's a good question. I mean, we posted, did we start posting that on the village website yet? No? I know we discussed uploading it. I haven't gotten over to put the stuff on the computer yet. Okay.
No, we have a section that says, this has been addressed, and then people could say, oh, look at that, like, look at
Yeah.
that. And then did you move it? You moved it over?
Yeah,
right?
it's on Singing Wood.
Okay.
Yeah, we have on Singing Wood. You could do, we had kind of all three, I guess you could lump it into, projects going on in the village, speed
Yeah.
humps, the speed signs and the repaving and repairs on the roads and drainage. So we could kind of put that in one section. You still have like a number of topics you're trying to keep it kind of within, or?
I think last newsletter, there were a bunch of like subtopics, but I felt like it was probably no more than, a dozen to maybe 15
Like main categories.
topics or categories.
Okay.
So kind of.
And it
within
seemed to
that
flow
range.
nice around
Almost
that
like
number.
projects
Yeah.
around the village,
Yeah,
or
projects around
happenings
the
around the
village. Yeah.
I
village. or
wouldn't mess
something.
with the formula because what you did last time was exceptional. I thought it was great. And I think it's a good, easy read and people seem to enjoy it. Got a good response. So I would keep it, whatever you cooked up last time, cook it up again and just change the ingredients.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You said you're looking to have it out by.
We're looking for late January to very early February.
Okay.
So within that range.
Okay.
And now it's gonna be 3 times a year, right? So do you think the next one is when, like May, June, or June, July? Did you guys decide if we for that yet?
When is it? It's.
Right, because we said, probably 3 a year.
Yeah,
Like, there's no set dates in that.
I don't think so.
Okay, just
No.
kind of as things go.
It's just, yeah.
All right, let's skip over to the audit summary. If you like to chime in on this one, or you want
Well,
us
does
to?
anybody have any questions, or do you want me just to give me my opinion?
Yeah, I think a quick summary or your summary / overview and opinion on it.
Okay, so, the audit report, there's only 2 issues, and they seem to be the same 2 issues. They were the same 2 issues in last year's report, and I really think that we can take care of them and get rid of them. We have an adverse opinion, which is not good. It doesn't, it hurts on bond ratings. It may, increase an interest rate or whatever. But there's possibly, most likely, some effect for having an adverse rating on your audit opinion. So, the 2 issues that we have are, they deal with the fixed assets, because going back, the fixed assets are not on the books, and so they're not depreciated. They're not, so our records are not correct, because we're not depreciating our fixed assets, because we don't even have some of them, like this building is not even on the books. And it was said that apparently from what I'm hearing, just in conversations, that it seemed too costly to get an assessor to come in and give us, but I think that there's ways to get some information, like from the Historical Society, from the records in the town of what this building was purchased at, when it was purchased way back when. I think we can get that information. I can work with the auditors. I have a list, a starting list of fixed assets from the insurance policy. It lists certain things. And then just going over and making a full list of all the fixed assets, trying to get as much information as we can on them. It'll take a little bit of work, but I think it's worth it to get rid of the adverse opinion. And then going forward, we will properly record our fixed assets, do an inventory every year to make sure that we have all of the fixed assets recorded properly on the books, appreciate it as generally accepted accounting principles say that we're supposed to do, and then we can get rid of the adverse opinion. It's going to take a little bit of work, but I think I personally, as the treasurer, recommend doing that. The other comment that they make consistently is the comment about appropriations. We overspent the budget, and it is against the law for the town to spend money on something that was not appropriated as in budgeted. I mean, there's money over here, but it needs to be put to the correct line item.
What did we overspend it?
Well, last year it was an in-whole, just the bottom line. We received more income than budgeted, but then,
That's not the point.
yeah, that's not the point.
Mhm.
It needs to be adjusted. So a village is supposed to change the budget. And the auditors recommend we do it twice a year, and then once again right before year end, to make sure that everything looks good at the end of the year. Because you're not allowed to, like, you can't pay salaries unless it's appropriated. So we have to move the budget from someplace else, or just change the budget.
But you couldn't change the budget once it was
No, you
passed.
can. You are actually required to change the budget.
Someone actually told me today that you couldn't do that, but I'm glad to hear that, because I suggested
In a
doing it.
business, no, the budget is set, you don't change it. In a municipality or a school district, you do actually have to change the budget in order to, because otherwise you can't spend the money.
Mhm.
And if you have to spend the money, and you have the money, so you just change the budget. Of course, there's you guys, the trustees have to approve it, just like you approve the,
How much was the overspend last year?
it was like 60 some odd thousand, in total.
Is a chunk of that from the insurance, from what we budgeted for the insurance originally?
For last
we were
year,
like
yeah, so the
30
insurance
over, right?
was quite a bit over
Then it would
last
spend
year.
more than
So
we budgeted, and we thought
if you
We
that
spent a lot more.
we budgeted more for insurance than we actually spent. So
No, that's for this year. This year it came in like $22,000 under. Last year it came in like quite a bit over.
Oh, I
I'm
see,
pretty
the
sure.
20
You know, because it's 24 to 25.
24 to 25.
So
right?
May 31st, 2025. So we
Okay.
did that insurance.
Okay.
So if you look at the audit report,
Mhm.
the supplemental information, one page has the revenue, and it shows that, our revenue, our actual revenue is 777,000, as opposed to a budget of 691,000 and change. So that was 85 and change, that we received over the budget.
Do we have that in here?
But our,
Yeah, yeah.
but the expenses, the actual,
Oh, I'm sorry, the financial
Yeah.
statements, I apologize.
yeah, the last three
Yep, yep, sorry. Go ahead.
The expenses, our actual expenses were 769,000 versus the budget of 707. So we overspent the budget of 62,000.
I see.
Is that from this? With these?
Mhm.
That's what added to that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
rec-
you're
Nothing we
recommending,
can do about this
So,
you're recommending two budget changes a year, revisiting the budget at
anymore.
least twice a year?
And then once again, right before the end of the year to adjust. And Tina, I mean, it's confirmed, the auditor said we're supposed to do this, and then Tina confirmed with,
Okay,
her mayor's group.
okay.
Nikon.
Yeah,
Nikon.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay,
So what,
The
so
mayor's
what
bill.
would the suggestion, is we do the budget in March, right? We close it, so then
Yeah, we
July.
do the best.
So where do you, what, besides, you thinking December would be a revisit, and two other times besides that?
Yeah.
What were the other two times you would
No,
suggest?
2 times.
Oh.
When I say the end of the year, I mean the end of the fiscal year.
Oh, okay.
so then when we have our budget meeting would be one, right?
Well, the budget meeting is, I mean, we do the best we can to budget, but things happen
Mhm.
throughout the year.
So then we have the end of the fiscal year in July 1st, starting a
Yeah.
new fiscal year.
Yeah.
So a meeting then, and then somewhere in between or twice in between, you're saying?
Twice in between.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Once you start spending after, I would say like,
October, November?
yeah, November, December, and then, or November, November. We want to have enough stuff in there to happen.
maybe you can weigh in on that because you see where the bulk of our transfers go and when funds are being moved. So, right, do you have a recommendation of a month or?
No, I think that's pretty good because you start in June, right? So you want to wait at least 4 months.
Yeah.
And the bulk of our income it's from June to
Right.
September.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also a lot of our expenses, you have the election, you have the parks, you have
Summertime.
paving starts June 1st. We always
Yeah.
have paving after the beginning of the
Yeah.
budget. So I think we
Like
could maybe get away with
October.
October, like a shorter
That's what I'm thinking,
span.
October, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you don't want it to be too cold, you want to do something, and you have the money, like,
And
let's do it
then-
before the end of the year and all that kind of
I
stuff.
think maybe
let's historically. we don't
is
have meetings in
February too
September.
late? Because the other
So-
thing that is a huge expense is snow.
No,
So you
Yeah.
might want to wait
Yeah.
until
because there could be an issue with the snow removal.
So October, February, have the budget meeting in March and then visit again before
well, you do October, February, and then April.
April.
Yeah.
October,
Mhm.
February, April, and then the new
I think
year
that
start on.
actually would work perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might
Yeah.
not have much from February to April, but
October, February,
Yeah, but
April.
then we're
Yeah.
cleaning it up before the
Yeah.
auditors come in, so we don't have that damage and whatever.
So, but did you want to do it like the end of June before we start the new year?
no.
Oh.
No, you set your budget in
It
April.
goes
you
June
have your
1st to
hearing.
June, to May
May.
31st, right? It's
Yeah.
weird, right?
Yeah.
But the election goes from July to July. So that's what always confuses
It
me.
goes from noon, the first Monday of July, until.
But I always think the budget starts in July, but then I'm always like, no,
No.
it starts in June.
Yeah, it throws you off.
Also, April would be like the end of the year type of thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be the kind of the cleanup,
Before the May.
to make sure it looks.
I like that.
Okay. And then just circling back really quick to the assets. Do you remember what it would cost to have us?
I think we looked into it 2 years ago, or maybe last year, and you guys voted not to pursue because it was, I think, like $15,000.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
cost,
What was that for?
the cost to have have the assets.
Voted against
That's
having a company
basically
come in,
covered.
but like Judy said, there is probably resources we could use.
Yeah.
Look, yeah.
Possibly,
I mean,
like,
And what was the company doing? There's certain things that they don't have to do, I mean,
yeah, I mean, we have, like she said, a starting list from the insurance.
From the
That's
insurance
all of
policy.
our.
Yeah.
you know, it's
Insurable
reviewed every year,
assets, yeah.
everything.
Okay.
You know, like I tried looking through the minutes and stuff, and in fairness, a lot of stuff is donated.
Yeah.
You know, from residents back in the day, so, you know, I don't know if that would have any bearing on it,
Yeah,
but,
I mean, if we can put together as much information as we can,
yeah.
and then if all else fails, then we have to have a professional come in and do something for some of the.
Yeah,
items,
whatever's
But I don't think
whatever's
they have to
missing.
come in and just do a full sweep.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I do have a question. So we do the budget in March, right? Because then we have to send it to Nikon by a certain day, right? Or we have to publish it somewhere or something?
So you have to have a public hearing by April 15th.
April 5th, so you have to, the budget needs to get presented to the board, in March.
Okay.
And by March 31st. And then you have to have a public hearing by April 15th. And it has to be adopted by April 30th.
And then sent to New York State.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Now, if we do a revision, do we have to do that same process?
I'm not sure about revisions, to be honest. Normally revisions are the line items, reallocation of appropriations.
Okay.
Me and Judy can go through like all the actual logistics of it one
Yeah.
day.
I think
because
overspending, you're
we
actually
used to do this, we just transfer it, but I guess it's not-
supposed to look at a budget, for a budget.
That's not enough,
I don't, they weren't,
that's fine.
Because, you know,
Yes.
like, once New York State gets it, right, if we make revisions and change it, do we have to now notify them of those changes?
I mean, that's as simple as me
Just calling Nikon
putting
and
it,
then,
I just put a seal on the budget and send it,
Oh.
like in a letter, it's, you know, through email,
Oh,
it's not
okay.
really, or she could log in on the portal. I'm sure it's not gonna be anything.
no, you know, if we had to like, you know, make sure it was stamped and sent to them as an update or something.
Yeah, we'll check about
And then
that.
revisiting in February will give us a really good look at the budget in the
Yeah.
following month for the meeting, see where we're at.
Yeah.
Really close for the following year. So, okay. All right, great. Thank you, Judy. Is there anything else that you wanted to point out or recommend from that? No?
no,
All set.
because there's just the two issues
Yeah.
that are recurring, and I'd like to,
Got it.
you know.
She's got solutions for both.
There we
I
go.
like it, Judy.
That's the
I like
way
it.
we
I have
roll.
a good, you know, game kind of system, so I like it.
All right, let's move
Um,
on to, oh, sorry.
No.
Okay, let's move on. Communications grant, software estimates.
So I
Is it
did
you?
get 2 estimates, but we
Okay.
have to get a third, so I'm working on doing a demo,
Okay,
for that. You know, we're doing software for like building and code enforcement, and then we, you know, more recently decided to add on like text messaging or some sort of like mass communication.
Yeah.
Option. So the one company that I did a demo with is working on sending me all that information. I have a third one signed up. All 3 companies I did demos with came highly recommended from other villages. So
which
Right.
Yeah.
ones are you?
I did a demo with GoGov and iWork.
Yeah, okay,
You know, the price was vastly different amongst both, even though it was pretty similar what they could do.
Yeah.
You know, one was just a lot more flashy.
okay,
But I think both would work really well for
okay.
the village in terms of efficiency and just streamlining so much.
Was part of that paying your taxes online?
No, that's where you start to get, because we don't have any of our tax information online, period.
Okay.
So then that's where it starts to get,
Could we do EFTs?
what's that?
So the electronic fund transfers? So like I do that for, if I'm paying like my HOA,
Yeah,
like I just send it right to them and it just
So
goes right to their bank.
we originally focused purely on like the code enforcement and building side, just because that's the one that, you know, takes the most time. It would really make the biggest impact.
Mhm.
Because we were concerned about budget, right? Like you don't want to just like get everything. So both of those companies, I believe, do offer that at some point or level. The same thing with like parking stickers, where people could just go online and check out. Like the one has a way where they could kind of make it work for us now, you know. But in terms of any of the larger financial things like tax payments, I think it's, you know, I think it's
Jumps up to another
a
level.
little too big for
Yeah.
our sites right now. I think we should
Where are we at like right now, looking at, I know we
for.
talked about some rough numbers.
So GoGov came in like around, and I didn't compare both exactly yet. I just have it like $10,000.
Okay,
That's including the text messaging. That's a
Okay.
year.
That's not unreasonable.
iWorks came in at like 3,500, not including the text messaging, but that would include buildings. So where like people could go online, do their building permits, pay for them, track the progress. Also where like the building inspector can just do the inspections on the tablet and you know, it'll just automatically come to the office to be processed. The same
That's
thing
lower than another one.
Yeah, so, you know, so that's where they both have
And
to be.
are they both scalable? Like if we
Mhm.
decide,
Oh,
right, you can
absolutely,
just
yeah.
build
They're
on as
both-
you go, right?
They're both very, you kind of just like tell them what you want and they just build the templates for it. But, like I know iWork is really, it actually has like a GIS system integrated, but also for like code enforcement, it has like, you could have notes where it says like dangerous dog, or, you know, it'll show like the open violations or whatever. Like, I don't know how they would necessarily choose how deeply to use that software. And the same thing for building department, you know, people could go online and say, instead of like calling the office, they could just see if
Where the
permit's
permits in
approved.
process, and yeah.
They could schedule an inspection, you know, things like that, where it's just more all automated. And they
Yeah.
both do offer a lot more services. Like, I mean, what we're asking for is very small for what they offer.
Yeah, for our needs.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got 21st century.
It only took us a couple centuries, but you know, we're on the move. We're on the move.
Exactly.
We got the wheels rolling. We're on the move.
We're in
Let's
the
keep,
century that
let's
we get.
keep
Think
going.
about it. It's like, I don't know, what was it, not even 50 years ago, they were homeless in somebody's house. So like, we're moving up.
Yeah, we're moving up.
in the world.
And it's a
Yeah,
communi-
but I'll have those numbers for you next month.
and do we have a grant for that? Is that what it says, communication
So
grant?
Verizon gave us a communication grant when we signed the franchise agreement with them
Right.
for
Yeah.
$3,500.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's a one-time
And-
fee.
That's a one-time grant.
That's
You know, and there is some
Just take
setup
a year of
costs
services.
related
Yeah,
to
that's great,
this.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's setup costs. It's not all just subscription or, you know, anything like that. Like some of those estimates include like getting it off the ground essentially.
Yeah.
The one-time setup fee, so.
Okay.
But I'll send that all out ahead of next month.
All right. And then last one, code estimate. And this is for updating our village code.
And local laws, so they gave us an estimate of $800 to $950. That's our yearly fee. We actually cut down, 2 of the books last year to save about $800 because everything's available online. We have an official copy in the clerk's office, official copy for code.
Yep.
So it's between $800 and $950 for the website and the 2 hard copy books.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions or feedback on that one? Okay. All right. Now on to,
So I want to request a executive session for legal advice. Do I do that now or do I do that at the end of this?
Whenever you want.
Okay. You want to do that before the public hearing?
yeah,
You want
let's
to
do,
just adjourn the work?
yeah, let's do
session?
that. Meeting to adjourn the work session at 6:46 PM. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then motion to go into work, motion to open
For,
executive session for legal advice. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Stop.
Anybody online? We are going to pause for
I
a
got you.
moment
Don't worry
and
about
be
that.
back.
Just-
Thank you.
You could just.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. All right, so it's back on. I'll need a motion to adjourn. And then you can open the other one.
All right, motion to adjourn the executive session at 6:50 PM. So moved. All in favor? All right. Motion to open the Board of Trustees meeting December 11th, 2025 at,
Don't we have a public hearing first?
oh,
Well, you
well,
usually open it.
got it listed twice here. It's
Oh.
once here and then it's listed in the actual meeting for item number 2.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No problem. Motion to open the Board of Trustees December 11th, 2025 meeting at 6:50 PM. So moved. All in favor? Aye. All right, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, announcements. The Football Community Association will be coordinating and sponsoring the village's participation in the Three Village Rotary's annual electric holiday parade on December 14th. Lineup starts at 4 p.m. at Setauket Elementary School. Look for the Polkwat banner and code vehicle to join the group. Village trustees Chris Sokol and Ray Graham will be coordinating this year's annual holiday drive. This year's contributions will be collected for St. James Church and Three Village Meals on Wheels. Suggested food items include non-perishable items, canned vegetables, soups, cookies, crackers, etc. The PTA will also be running a toy collection for Three Village Santa unwrapped toys and gifts. Both drives will be running through December 15th. Donations can be dropped off at Village Hall, or if residents would like to schedule pickup, they can contact either Trustee Sokol or Trustee Graham. Their emails are listed on the website, and thank you in advance to all our residents for the generosity. And unless you have anything else, we'll jump into public hearing. We need to do a motion to open the public hearing, right? Motion to open public hearing, local law of 2025, amending section 183-18 of the village code. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
So this is, I recommend that you have actually one hearing on both local laws. I think you can do that. And it's, in our code, the membership of the ZBA and the planning board are in two different places in our code. The planning board is in chapter 26 and the ZBA is in chapter 183. And they just did it back. No, that's right.
Did you want to comment?
Yes.
You did.
Yeah, so there was a question about, so there's a heading, there was a heading that was left in our law that says increase in membership. And I changed the text that followed that, but I didn't change the heading. That
That's
was
what I thought. That's why I said it
So I
was.
think, so now you have the local law. What you have in your hands now is the two separate local laws and then the joint one that we did. Probably we should do the two separate local laws because that's how we advertised it. And the number of members, the members are changed in the two different sections. The alternate members are for both boards are contained in chapter 26. So that's reflected in that section. And the way that the language in the law, the language in the code now will cover the reduction. So basically the mayor will set terms as terms expire, the new terms will be appointed, so that eventually we'll have consecutive term, every year there'll be one term ending, like there should be. And, as we roll off expiring terms. Other than that, I don't have any questions, other than let's get a question.
Anybody from me? That's the decent like last meeting. Do I have anything new that they want to add to it? No? Okay. And just to clarify, the one for the zoning board is a requirement, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Should be fun.
Okay. So open public comments at this point. Caller, if anybody would like to speak, or anybody in the audience would like to make a public comment? No? Okay. Go ahead and close out then?
Yes.
Okay. Motion to close the public hearing for the amendment to local law, section 183-18 of the village code. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yes.
Nothing. You good?
Okay. Board updates. Planning met on December 8th to discuss a dock application for 9 Chestnut. The zoning board of appeals is scheduled to meet on December 17th to discuss variances for 17 Stingwood and 33 Birchwood. I don't see it, didn't see it on here.
What?
No.
No. No, I said that at the beginning of the joint public hearing.
Yeah, we didn't have to do it.
The joint
Right.
public hearing.
Okay. All right. I didn't see a section here for legal. Is there anything that you wanted to discuss? I don't see.
Oh, yeah.
I also
no,
don't see
treasurer.
for treasury and for,
I just wanted to wish.
we'll go
Court,
legal, we'll go
court,
court, and then
public
Dave.
safety.
Yep, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
There's, No report.
No report?
I wish everybody, happy holiday and be safe and enjoy.
Thank
Thank you, Joe.
Huge,
Did you wanna? We're just looking at the time. Is there anything
Pretty
else,
soon, yeah.
is there anything else we need from you or?
No, I have an obligation at the firehouse. I'm sorry.
No problem.
I think they intentionally scheduled their meetings. I have a little bit of leeway. I'm sorry.
No worries. My report.
Yes, that's right. So we have one new case open, one case closed, collected $75. And we have 5 cases that have been adjourned to January. I saw the court is canceled for December 24th.
I was ordered not to say anything about that.
No, okay. Well, I just did. So we'll see everybody in January.
That's why you did not. Dave, public safety?
Public safety report from November 14th to December 11th. House check requests, we had 2. Incident reports, we had 1 for information purposes. We had property maintenance 1, and walking violations 3 were addressed. 38 field appearance tickets year to date. Special event permits 4. Excuse me. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I know you did the RSA rooms, but do you have anything else?
treasurer's
You wanna go over?
report, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
all right.
So the profit and loss report for the year through November 30th, 2025 indicates that village spending is very close to budget. Some cases significantly under budget. However, there are a few notable variances. Insurance, we project a surplus of approximately $2,500. This figure includes payments already made for liability, auto, umbrella, property insurance, plus as well as an estimate for the flood insurance. Public safety spending is significantly under budget at this point in the year. The recent hiring of the code enforcement officer will reduce the surplus. Additionally, potential overtime and night differential in the remaining months of the year may further reduce the surplus. Planning and zoning board as of November 30th, 2025, this line item has exceeded its budget. However, a portion of these expenses will be reimbursed, so we do not expect the year to end over budget. I will look at this line item as we get closer to the year end to see if there needs to be any reallocation of the budget to cover this unappropriated spending. According to the audit report, we must reallocate the budget appropriation to ensure that the village is not spending funds that have not been appropriated to that purpose. I will have a list of budget reallocations prepared since we didn't have the schedule. I'd like to have it done for next meeting.
Okay.
So that, since we missed like the October.
Yeah.
We'll just kind of.
Are we, I don't know if you have had a chance to talk to Tina about this, are we gonna try and do February of this year to implement the updated budget, or are we starting fresh for 2026? Do you want to meet in February?
Yeah, it's
like
gonna
start
be, February, there'll be a meeting,
Okay.
just like the work session.
Yep.
Right, round table,
Mhm.
get
So
everything
we'll do that
done.
in March? Can you already pick a date for that? March something?
Either the end of February, early March.
She picked
We're
a
saying
date.
to make the actual, not to review the upcoming budget, to make changes to the current budget, like we were just discussing. To implement it now for February.
Yeah,
so
you'll
you
do
already have
February,
to
so then you
make
have
changes
it
to
for the early
Yeah.
March,
Okay.
and then
Alright.
it'll be like 3 months of whole budget.
But then we'll be set going forward.
Yeah, it'll be good for the month.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Judy. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
I did have a report, I'm sorry, I apologize, there was one thing, you authorized, I apologize, you authorized me to, start collection action against a resident that owes, substantial taxes. And there was I had recommended that we start an action that, would foreclose on the property. I was asked to prepare the papers to show you what they're going to look like, before I serve them. So, what I did was, I prepared a package for each of you. It's a short package. But the first document is the foreclosure petition. So that would end up, theoretically in a foreclosure of the property. And the second part of the package, which says summons and complaint, is the traditional way that you sue somebody. And but that would only end up with a judgment, and we would be sitting with a judgment on the property, which is, is not really, I mean, we would be protected if the property was sold. We wouldn't be protected if the property was foreclosed or had some other issue. I'm not saying that it would be, but I'm just saying that it's not as good as the first one. So I'll pass these around and I'll leave it up to you to look at, and by the next month, just let me know what you want to do. Usually when people get this, they
Thank you.
Anything else anybody wants to, we'll take a look, quick circle back January, right? Saying no. Yeah. No. Anything else anybody wants to address before we move on to resolutions? I think we did. Okay.
When we do the resolutions, I have a recommendation that you do not adopt, that you table the one for chapter 183. You adopt, there's just a procedural nuance about an amendment to chapter 183 because it's the zoning code. So when we get to the two resolutions that are related to 183, secret, and I just recommend that you table those till next month, please.
Okay. So procedurally, once we get to that resolution,
Just
we
table.
table to next month. Okay. All right, that looks like 6 and 7. Let's go over that lands on. Or you just take it from here. Okay. All right, let's get some resolutions then. Resolution number 12-2025-01, resolution adopting December 11, 2025, agenda as printed. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 12-2025-02, resolution to schedule the Village of Hope Up Board of Work session meeting beginning at 6 p.m. on January 15th with business meetings to follow immediate. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 12-2025-03, resolution accepting monthly reports from November 13th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 12-2025-04. Resolution adopting the minutes from the November 13, 2025 work session of the Board of Trustees meeting. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 12-2025-05, resolution approving the hire of Guy Gayona as a code enforcement officer at the rate of $21.50 per hour effective November 9th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This one, you want me to, well, I can just table next to, or
Oh,
these are the two table ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Motion to table resolution 12-2025-06. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And resolution to table resolution 12-2025-07. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 12-2025-08, resolution adopting lead agency status for purchase of SEQA State Environmental Quality Review Act with regard to Village Code amending section 26-3 of the Poquat Village Code and determining that the adoption of the local laws is an unlisted action for purposes of SEQA, that the adoption of the local law will not have a negative impact on the environment, and adopting a negative declaration. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 12-2025-09, resolution to adopt local law of 2025, amending section 26-3 of the Poquat Village Code, decreasing the number of members of the zoning board of appeals from 7 to 5 with 2 alternates. So moved.
Second.
Is there supposed to be a number in there?
No, you leave it blank.
It's written. Oh,
There's a
okay.
legal reason why we leave it blank.
Okay, sorry. All right. Sorry, right, you said
So,
let's move. All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 12-2025-10. Resolution directing clerk lieutenant to schedule and notice accordingly public bids for landscaping. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 12-2025-11, resolution accepting the intermunicipal agreement with Brookhaven for highway work, sand, salt, and LED streetlights. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 12-2025-12, resolution to approve estimate from general code for the codification and supplementation of 2025 local laws in the amount not to exceed $950. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution number 12-2025-13, resolution to accept Justice Court grant budget overage adjustment as ordered by Justice Edelson. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution number 12-2025-14, resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Poquat acknowledging that the required audit of the Poquat Village records of 2024 through 2025 was completed, and that the Board of Trustees hereby accepts that audit. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Jess.
All right, so first one, we got a group gas cleaning for $400, construction technology for $195.15, Paul Ellison for $250, Flint stenography and transcription for $803.15, JLW accounting for $615, Optimum for $135.14, Joseph Prokop for $2,493.35, TSEG Long Island for $630.33, TSEG again for $14.13, Small Business Management Solutions for a total of $545.92, Transforming Solutions Corp. for $2,194.45, and Winter Brothers Hauling of Long Island for $12,276 for a total of $20,553.02. Next, we have Act Creative for $125, Hurricane Tree Experts for $1,500, Pivot Point Irrigation for a total of $355 for a total of $1,980. Next, you have TSEG Long Island for $377.44, TSEG again for $42.25, Sweezy Fuel Company for $345.71, and Verizon Wireless for $101.89 for a total of $867.29. And then the last one we have is the Amazon account for a total of $287.25.
Thank you, Jess. Resolution 12-2025-15, resolution approving all checks for the voucher report. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
And motion to close the business session at 7:08 p.m. So moved. All in favor?
Aye.
So before you go, can you just send the minutes in the